Today I'm going to show you around one of my very favorite neighborhoods, Northeast Minneapolis. Northeast is an industrial haven filled with warehouses turned into studios. It's one of the trendiest neighborhoods in Minneapolis and can pretty much provide any experience you're looking for, and there is so much to do. Northeast has restaurants with traditional and international dishes, dive bars, music venues, parks and trails, cute little coffee shops, beautiful views of the city, and it's home to over 1,000 artists. It's a short bike ride and even shorter drive to downtown Minneapolis, but I would recommend if you're going downtown to bike so you can avoid paying for parking or dealing with parking. Northeast is split up between the Arts District and the Riverfront District. In the Arts District, you'll find studios and galleries and diverse businesses throughout. Art-a-Whirl happens in Northeast, and it's the largest open studio tour in the country. There you'll find local artists showcasing their work, and there's live music and food, and it is a lot of fun. In the Riverfront District and St. Anthony, Maine, there's a cute cobblestone road with restaurants, shops, and the main theater. It's so beautiful over there, especially at night when everything is lit up, including the city. You can go on a walk over the Mississippi River on the Stone Arch Bridge, which is just a walking and biking bridge, which is my favorite. Otherwise in that area as well, there is Nicollet Island, Boom Island, Father Hennepin Bluff Park, and Water Power Park. Astor Cafe is on St. Anthony, Maine, and they have patio seating overlooking the skyline and the Mississippi River, and they have live music, and the ambiance there is just really nice, especially when they have the patio lighting in addition to the city lighting. Personally, I just love how the Mississippi River looks next to all the industrial stuff and all the city buildings. You can see the famous Greenbelt sign over there too. I was a bit reckless when I was younger, so my friend and I actually climbed that sign and watched the sunrise. It was really beautiful, but I am not condoning that, and there are much safer places to watch the sunrise. My sister lives in Northeast and she loves it. I used to live in Northeast, close to 18th and Central, and I absolutely loved it. I biked everywhere. I took a lot of walks by the Mississippi River, and I could walk to Spring Street Tavern and the Moose, which are dive bars down the street from where I used to live. I used to play pool at Spring Street every weekend, and anytime I had a date, I would take them to Spring Street and let them assume that they could beat me at pool. Unfortunately, they've gotten rid of their tables since then. I'm not 100% sure why, maybe it was fights or something, but I'm pretty sure the Northeast Yacht Club still has theirs. If you like dive bars, you're gonna love Northeast. You could really go on an entire Northeast dive bar tour if you wanted to. They're everywhere. There's Grumpy's, Maze-Lax, the 331, Nightcap, Northeast Palace, just to name a few. Many of them have live music, karaoke, or both. Northeast has other cool bars too. I mean, Psycho Susie's is not divey, but it's a really cute tiki bar with a huge patio right on the Mississippi River. If you like the nightlife, Northeast has an abundance of options. And if you like house music, Beast Barbecue has house music every first Friday of the month. In addition to all the bars, Northeast has some of the best breweries in the city. You got Dangerous Man Brewing, Head Flyer, 612 Brew, Fair State, and Social Cider Works, just to name a few. If you like cute little local coffee shops, Northeast has a ton of those too. Dogwood has a few locations, but I like the one in Northeast because they have like an open air kind of thing going on when they open the garage door. Otherwise, Karma Coffee is probably one of my favorites. Our Mojo Coffee Gallery is probably my favorite because they have really good coffee, food, and there's all this like interesting artwork and pottery scattered throughout their little shop. I like Spy House Coffee in Northeast too, but every time I go there, it's always packed. There are so many good restaurants in Northeast. You'll probably find the best restaurants with the most variety there. There's Mexican, Italian, Vietnamese, Ecuadorian, Greek, Japanese, and everything. Hi Hi serves Southeast Asian street food, and the chef Christina Nijin was nominated for a James Beard Award. Animales is a seasonal food truck at Bajas Brew Labs, and they serve really good barbecue. There are so many traditional and internationally inspired dishes all throughout Northeast Minneapolis. Even if you're just looking for something low-key, like a cheap breakfast, there's Ideal Diner on Central. I used to go there all the time, and I love it there, and I love their sign. It says where regular people feel special and special people feel regular. I appreciate that. Okay, so clearly there is a lot to do in Northeast, but if schools are important to you, niche.com gave most of the schools in Northeast a C-, a C, or C+, although they gave Wheat Park Elementary School a B. Niche.com grades schools on several different categories, so if schools are important to you, I would recommend to go to the niche.com website for yourself, because some of those things might be more important to you than others. The median home price in Northeast Minneapolis is $325,000, which is lower than that of the Twin Cities as a whole at $365,000. In the last 6 months, I'm making this video in April of 2023, 48% of the homes sold for under $300,000. 48% of them sold in the $300,000 to $499,000 range, and only like the other 3 to 4% sold in the $500,000 to $700,000 range. It seems pretty rare to see any $1 million homes in the Northeast area, at least not in the last 3 years when I looked up the sold listings. Another thing I noticed about Northeast is that normally if you go to a suburb, you can find a townhouse or condo for cheaper, but in Northeast it seems like they're actually more expensive than the single families, but they're also much more updated. I'm sure it's already obvious that I love it there, but I'm going to share some reviews from current and past residents so you have other opinions. One current resident says, I've lived in Northeast for about 5 years now. We initially rented to get a feel for the area and fell in love with the community. A couple years ago, we purchased a home in the Holland neighborhood. Holland is relatively big compared to the other Northeast neighborhoods. We like how accessible shops and restaurants are by foot. Current resident says, there is a large variety in popular stores. These stores range from large companies to independently owned stores and are extremely accessible thanks to their locations and public transportation. Houses are typically built close together. However, the lots are rectangular, allowing for people to have a nice sized yard. The large majority of homes are well maintained with a manicured front lawn. There is also a very low percentage of abandoned homes in Northeast Minneapolis. If you're moving to the Twin Cities or thinking about making a move to the Twin Cities, I would love to help you find a neighborhood or suburb that best fits your preferred lifestyle. Call, text, email, DM me on social media, whatever. Get a hold of me and we'll find your home. My contact details are in the description box and I pinned them in the comments. Now for some pros and cons. One con is that a lot of the houses are close together, so you're not going to find as many in private wooded areas. The cons are difficult for me because I love the type of environment that Northeast offers, but if you like something that maybe looks a little bit newer, a little bit more modern, or less industrial, you might not love it. It doesn't have that pristine look like other suburbs or neighborhoods, like maybe like Edina or Southwest Minneapolis have. It's a neighborhood filled with artists and industrial buildings and dive bars. So, it's okay if you prefer a more sophisticated bar with like chandeliers and stuff. Maybe Northeast just isn't for you. I really can't think of any cons. I'm honestly struggling, but I do realize that Northeast is not for everyone. As for pros, there are tons in my opinion. You don't need a car to get around, and there's lots of trails that take you to other parts of Minneapolis. There are tons of things to do. There's beautiful parks, industrial parks, bars, restaurants, breweries, coffee shops, and art galleries. You can see some of the best views of the city in Northeast, and there are so many things to keep you entertained. I mean, I used to just sit and watch the trains go by, and I just thought that was a nice additional activity to what is already available. Another pro is it has everything you need, big box stores and independently owned stores, and a lot of them are walking distance or biking distance. The last pro I'll mention is that the neighborhoods are like neighborhoods you'd find in a suburb, but you're in the city and you get all the city perks. It is truly a one-of-a-kind neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed that little peek into Northeast Minneapolis and that you have a better idea of what it's like to live there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.